Park proved dinosaurs sell, but over the years, as someone who has loved dinosaurs growing up and has grown up and still loves dinosaurs, possibly even more than before, I'm confused as to why there aren't more movies and shows about dinosaurs. I mean, when they come out and do really well, I find that more often than not, it's more of a niche genre, and then when it does come out, the reason why most people are into it is either because of the novelty of it, because there hasn't been a movie or show like it in a long time, it has some next level situation or CGI that they've never seen before, or because their kids are super into it. Hence why old dinosaur shows or movies that are successful keep a long lifespan due to them becoming more pussified or kidified. It always makes me cringe, especially when you consider that the very reason the kids were into it in the first place was because of the danger and the stakes, and recognizing that these creatures that could pull somebody's head clean off their body or rip them in half with little to no effort are actual animals that existed a long time ago. Dinosaurs are like dragons, and it's possible that a lot of mythical legends and stories based their creatures are dragons off of dinosaurs. Then you get beautiful works of art, like the webtoon Darby by Sherard Jackson. Darby not only has a rich and picturesque world filled with bright and colorful creatures, but these creatures can talk and also have unique and stimulating personalities. We get to walk through their everyday lives and the politics and issues they face as dinosaurs. They're also more up to date in terms of design with what is the modern belief of what dinosaurs used to look like, but yet some of them still manage to look terrifying. Then we got Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal, a show which already had a season 1 that came out October 8, 2019, and was scheduled for season 2 on October 4, 2021. The same creator that made a lovable franchise with Samurai Jack came out with a caveman Samurai Jack, but with dinosaurs. And people ate it up because not only were there not a lot of dinosaur properties pushing the bars and the stakes like he was, were there actual deaths and dinosaurs killing things and each other, because that's what would happen in real life, but it was an animated adventure that had more personality and character building and world building than most Hollywood movies or primetime shows with a bigger budget and dialogue. And that's right, this show had no dialogue whatsoever, yet somehow every single one of us that watched understood exactly what the main character and his dinosaur were saying. There was a vast array of villains and real-world danger, and this show was geared towards adults, but kids could also enjoy it because death and blood are real things that I honestly don't think should be censored from kids. I grew up in a world where anime and animated films or cartoons had blood in them, and I'm not traumatized and my head isn't on backwards. For me, and I've heard from other people, they grew up revering these creatures even the more and wanting to see more because of how powerful these creatures were. Dinosaurs. Tell me, if everyone is so amazed by these creatures, and when works like Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal comes out or a Jurassic Park movie, and they do well and are received very well, especially when the focus is on the dinosaurs, why aren't there more of them? I mean, I figure, budget plays a big part into this, but out of curiosity, why do low-budget movies seem to dominate in the field of dinosaurs, but the rest of the world in general, or at least this country of the US, you're not interested in making dinosaur movies? It's not that people aren't interested in dinosaurs at all, they just seem more interested in other stuff like aliens. Keep in mind also that other cultures like Japan's and China's do seem to have a lot more monster or dinosaur oriented franchises. This could be cultural and historical based on certain events that happened in the respective countries. Human beings tend to attribute monster stories or monster traits for the bad things that happen to them, especially if they have ancestral religions that focus on dragons or monsters. For example, while America symbolizes freedom due to their history of becoming free from Britain and use the mascot of the bald eagle, the colorful Japanese dragon is part of Japanese cultural mythology and even integrated within the Shinto religion, and has been for hundreds of years. Same thing with China. So it makes sense why in that culture they would more so have heroes or mascots with more monster or dragon origins or physiologies. North America really doesn't have that, and while they will celebrate monster movies, the general audience or most people are not that interested. For the Americans, their monster or the thing they feared was losing their freedom and tyranny by a one ruler type of government. They didn't want to be far away and ruled by someone who wasn't even a representative of the region that they were in. They were being taxed unfairly and basically had the sense of being owned by a leader that didn't have their interests at heart. It's possible that the history of wanting to break away from being controlled and beaten down gave rise to popular action films or movies where a man would become a hero for his people or break away from the social norm. Wars in politics also gave rise to superheroes because when people feel helpless and when there is a very real monster that is afflicting them or a threat, they will always create their own monster or hero as a means of escape. Somebody that is relatable that other people can watch kick the monster's ass or kick the oppressor's ass. And it's easier to relate to them because they look human, even if they're from another planet. To the general public, dinosaurs are not that relatable to this culture because even though they're amazing to look at, they're not really the escapism most people are looking for. When I had asked a friend of mine why they weren't interested in dinosaurs, when they condescendingly asked me why I didn't grow out of it, spoiler, they're not my friend anymore, not for that reason, but you know, whatever. They replied that dinosaurs can't talk and they can't invest in a dinosaur or take them seriously because they're dinosaurs, they're not real. So I asked them about superheroes. The person replied that superheroes are basically human beings that got powers, and everybody wonders what that's like, but nobody wonders what it's like to be a dinosaur. I'd like to differ, but he's kind of right. The truth is, most people don't feel that way, and while dinosaurs are beautiful to look at, most adults have gone into life, experienced breakups, or horrible bosses, and financial woe. So if they had to choose entertainment, they would choose something that is an escape or something that they can easily relate to or see themselves being a part of, which helps them escape more. Watching a movie about a superhero man kicking ass or just a drama about humans solving a crime is easy for most people to escape into because those are actual other human beings with real world problems, or the people watching can actually see those things happening in their world now, and that allows them to escape easier because it feels like an alternate reality that they could have been a part of. It's so real that they don't have to really work that hard to suspend disbelief. That's why those kinds of movies sell so well, especially in this culture. Not to say that other cultures are predominantly monster movie cultures, but there's less of that here, I find, because of the type of audience that is available based on our culture or history. The question is, why do the low-budget movies seem to have more monster movies than anything else? Many people claim that these guys are doing it for money laundering reasons. I can't confirm or deny that. Now, I know it's cheaper to make a horrible CGI monster or somebody just wearing the costume that people are running away from or trying to survive than to actually make an old human cast and have a story that people would actually want to watch. People still get their fix with these bad movies because they're so bad and because you don't take them seriously. You know, the CGI dinosaur that's floating off the ground and defies physics is totally ridiculous, but you can understand the concept. It's quick, it's throwaway, and it's stupid fun. And the characters don't even have to be that great of an actor because it's not about them. That's the best that I got. Is it possible that dinosaur or monster movies would ever be mainstream if we had more revolutionary stuff like Jurassic Park? But I think that aliens are more so mainstream than dinosaurs because there are more stories of people getting abducted by aliens than people seeing dinosaurs. It's more relatable, and it's something that people know could currently exist. I don't believe half of those stories that are out there, but with how large the universe is, and with Earth being a planet that is one that can sustain life, and considering that in our galaxy alone, because there are millions and billions of galaxies, but in ours alone there are 100 billion planets, it actually makes less sense to believe that there are no other life forms than to believe that there are. And that scares people because we see ourselves and we see how technology makes things scarier, makes us more dangerous, and the more technologically advanced we become, it seems to be the more dangerous we are. As soon as humans started using tools, shit got real. It got that way real fast. So imagine aliens who are even more advanced than us. The unknown and the very real possibility that these beings could exist right now and we can't see them and we don't know where they are, almost to the point where it's like they're trying to actively hide from us. That is more interesting and relatable to human beings than big dinosaurs that no longer exist and are only bones. No one really cares about dinosaurs to the level they care about aliens because dinosaurs are dead. They existed and everyone knew about them and now they're old news. Jurassic Park got away with it because, well, it was something that was generally not done before, at least that concept. Cloning was becoming a thing, people actually wondered if it was a possibility, but now they're over it. And there is still a very mysterious possible threat to our survival as a species out there. Possible. And that's what makes it even more interesting to people than dinosaurs, hence why there aren't more dinosaur shows. And the only reason why kids are so excited about them, and every kid loves dinosaurs, is because number one, they don't have real world problems yet to worry about, or that they want to relate to or can relate to. And two, they haven't been on the earth very long, and knowing that there were these dragon-like creatures that were actually alive is imagination fodder for a kid. So unless something major happens to change, I don't see the interest in dinosaurs rising anytime soon than what it is, and I think the only thing that would remotely change that is if someone pushes the envelope for a series such as Darby and makes it an animated show or something kick-ass, and then when other people see how well it's doing, they try to do the same thing to capitalize on it. So do you guys prefer dinosaur or monster movies over regular human movies? Yes or no, and why? Thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.